Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Magnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapatakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrijatam Saganaragunatan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanasahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Risabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Kauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Srinvatam Svakata Krishna Punyashravana Kirtana Rityandastoya Bhadrani Vidunoti Suhritsatam नष्टाप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भागवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Before reciting the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Nara Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Śrīla Vyasadeva, the author. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma Super Soul in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you for joining the reading session. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Korashakti, Prasanna Prabhu, and Praveen Prabhu, Danda Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
So we continue from text number 45.
So, Prabhu, I will read because
Thank you so much.
I read it a couple of days ago, so it's been a long time for me.
Hari Bol.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Text 45. स एष भगवान् द्रोणः प्रजारूपेण वर्तते तस्यात्मनो अर्धं पत्यास्ते वर्तते नान्वगाद् विरशौः कृपी इत्यस्ति। सः हि एषः certainly भगवान् लॉर्ड द्रोणाचार्य Prajarupena in the form of his son Aswathama Vartate is existing. Tasya, his Atmanaha of the body, Ardham, half, Patni, wife, Aste, living, Na, no, Anvagat, undertook, Veerasauh, having the son present, Kripi, the sister of Kripacharya. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Translation. He, Dronacharya, is certainly still existing, being represented by his son. His wife Kripi did not undergo a sati with him because she had a son. Purport. The wife of Dronacharya, Kripi, is the sister of Kripacharya. A devoted wife who is, according to revealed scripture, the better half of her husband is justified to embrace voluntary death along with her husband if she is without issue. But in the case of the wife of Dronacharya, she did not undergo such a trial because she had her son, the representative of her husband. A widow is so called if there is a son of her husband existing. So, in either case, Aswadhama was the representative of Dronacharya, and therefore killing Aswadhama would be like killing Dronacharya. That was the argument of Draupadi against the killing of Aswadhama. Okay. Anyhow, Sati Sahagamanam is highly prohibited in the age of Kali.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Okay. Text 46. Tad dharmagnya mahabhaga bhavadbhir gauravam kulam vrijinam narhati praptum pujyam vandyam abhikshanasaha. Tat, therefore, dharmagnya, one who is aware of the principles of religion, mahabhaga, the most fortunate, bhavadbihi, by your good self, gauravam, glorified, kulam, the family, virginam, that which is painful, not, arhati, does deserve, praptum, for obtaining, pujyam, the worshipful, vandyam, respectful, abhikshanasaha, constantly. Translation. O most fortunate one who knows the principles of religion, it is not good for you to cause grief to glorious family members who are always respectable and worshipful. Purport. A slight insult for a respectable family is sufficient to invoke grief. Therefore, a cultured man should always be careful in dealing with worshipful family members. Text 47. Ma rodit asya janani gautami pati devata yataham mritavatsa atta rodimi ashru mukti muhu. Ma, do not, rodit, make cry, asya, his, janani, mother, Gautami, the wife of Drona, Pati Devata, chaste, yatha, as has, aham, myself, Mritavatsa, one whose child is dead, Artha, distressed, Rodimi, crying, Asrumukti, tears in the eyes, muhuhu, constantly. Translation: My lord, don't make the wife of Dronacharya cry like me. I am aggrieved for the death of my sons. She need not cry constantly like me. Purport: Sympathetic good lady as she was, Srimati Draupadi did not want to put the wife of Dronacharya in the same position of childlessness, both from the point of motherly feelings as well as from the respectable position held by the wife of Dronacharya. Next 48. Esai kopitam Brahma kulam Rajan अजितात्मभिः तत् कुलं प्रदहति आसु सानुबन्धं सुचार्पितं यहै by those kopitam enraged Brahma Kulam, the order of the Brahmanas, Rajanyaihi, by the administrative order, Ajita, unrestricted, Atmabihi, by oneself, Tat, that, Kulam, family, Pradahati, is burnt up, Asu, within no time, Sa, Anubandham, together with family members, Sucha, Arpitam, being put into grief. Translation: If the kingly administrative order, which is unrestricted in sense control, offends the Brahmana order and enrages them, then the fire of that rage burns up the whole body of the royal family and brings grief upon all. Purport: The Brahmana order of society or the spiritually advanced caste or community and the members of such highly elevated families were always held in great esteem by the other subordinate castes, namely the administrative kingly order, mercantile order, and the laborers. Text 49. Sota vacha dharmam nyayam sa karunam निर्व्यालीक्तं समं महत् राजा धर्मसुतो राज्ञः प्रद्यनन्दन् वचो द्विजः. Suta Vacha. Suta Goswami said, Dharmyam, just to the principles of religion, Nyayam, justice, Sa Karunam, full of mercy, Nirvyalipam, without duplicity in dharma, Samam, equity, Mahat, glorious, Raja, the king, Dharma Sutaha, son, Rajnyaha, by the queen, Nandata, supported, Vachaha, statements, Dvijaha, O Brahmanas. Dvijaha, O Brahmanas. Translation: Suta Goswami said, O Brahmanas, King Yudhishthira fully supported the statements of the queen, which were in accordance with the principles of religion and were justified, glorious, full of mercy and equity, and were without duplicity. Purport: Maharaja Yudhishthira, who was the son of Dharmaraja or Yamaraja, fully supported the words of Queen Draupadi in asking Arjuna to release Aswathama. One should not tolerate the humiliation of a member of a great family. Arjuna and his family were indebted to the family of Dronacharya because of Arjuna's learning the military science from him. If ingratitude were shown to such a benevolent family, it was not at all justified from the moral standpoint. The wife of Dronacharya, who was the half body of the great soul, must be treated with compassion, and she should not be put into grief because of her son's death. That is compassion. Such Statements by Draupadi are without duplicity because actions should be taken with full knowledge. The feeling of equality was there because Draupadi spoke out of her personal experience. A barren woman cannot understand the grief of a mother. Draupadi was herself a mother, and therefore her calculation of the death of Kripi's grief was quite to the point. Depth of, sorry. Therefore, her calculation of the depth of Kripi's grief was quite to the point, and it was glorious because she wanted to show proper respect to a great family. Text 50. Nakula Sahadevascha Yudhano Dhananjaya Bhagavan Devaki Putro Ye Chanye Yascha Yoshitaha Nakula Sahadeva Cha and Yudhanaha Satyaki Dhananjaya Arjuna Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Devaki Putraha, the son of Devaki, Lord Sri Krishna, Ye, those, Cha, and Anye, others, Yah, those, Cha, and Yoshitaha, ladies. Translation. The younger brothers of the king, Nakula and Sahadeva, and also Satyaki and Arjuna, the personality of God, Lord Krishna, son of Devaki, and the ladies and others all unanimously agreed with the king. There is no purport. Text 51. Tatraham marshito bhimas tasya shreyan vadaha smritaha na bhartur नात्मानस चार्थे योहन सुप्तान शिशून प्रता तत्र thereupon aha said amri amarshitaha in an angry mood Bhima tasya his Shreyan ultimate good Vadaha killing Smrataha recorded not Bartuhu of the master nor Atmanaha of his own self Cha and Arte for the sake of Yaha one who Ahan killed Suptan sleeping Sishun, children, Vrata, without purpose. Translation. Bhima, however, disagreed with them and recommended killing this culprit who, in an angry mood, had murdered sleeping children for no purpose and for neither his nor his master's interest. Text 52. Nishamya Bhima Gatitam द्रौपद्याश्च चतुर्भुजः आलोक्य वदनं शक्युर् idam aha hasan iva Nishmaya. Just after hearing Bhima Gatitam spoken by Draupadyah of Draupadi Cha and Chaturbujaha, the four-handed personality of Godhead, Alokya, having seen Vadanam, the face, Sakyuho, of his friend, Idam, this, Aha, said Hasan, smiling, Iva, as if. Translation. Chaturbujaha, the four-armed one, or the personality of Godhead, after hearing the words of Bhima, Draupadi, and others, saw the face of his dear friend Arjuna, and he began to speak as if smiling. Purport. Lord Krishna had two arms, and why he is designated as four-armed is explained by Sridhara Swami. Both Bhima and Draupadi held opposite views about killing Aswathama. Bhima wanted him to be immediately killed, whereas Draupadi wanted to save him. We can imagine Bhima ready to kill while Draupadi is obstructing him. And in order to prevent both of them, the Lord discovered another two forms, two arms. Originally, the primeval Lord Sri Krishna displays only two arms, but in his Narayana feature, he exhibits four. In his Narayana feature, he resides with his devotees in the Vaikuntha planets, while in his original Sri Krishna feature, he resides in the Krishna Loka planet, far, far above the Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual sky. Therefore, if Sri Krishna is called Chaturbujaha, there is no contradiction. If need be, he can display hundreds of arms, as he exhibited in his Viswarupa shown to Arjuna. Therefore, one who can display hundreds and thousands of arms can also manifest four whenever needed. When Arjuna was perplexed about what to do with Aswadhama, Lord Sri Krishna, as very dear friend of Arjuna, voluntarily took up the matter just to make a solution, and he was smiling also. Hmm. Text 53-54. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Brahmabandhurna Hantavya Atatayi Vadhar Hanaha Mayevo Mayevo Bhayam Amnatam Paripahya Anushasanam Kuru Shrutam Satyam Yat Tat Santvya Santvya Yata Priyam Cha Bhima Senasya Panchalya Mahyam Evacha. Sri Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Uvacha, said, Brahma Bandhuhu, the relative of a Brahmana, not Hantavyaha, to be killed. Atatayi, the aggressor. Vadyaha, Hanaha, is due to be killed. Maya, by me, Eva, certainly. Ubhayam, both. Amnatam, described according to rulings of the authority. Paripahi, just carry out. Anushasanam, rulings. Kuru, just abide by. Pratishrutam, as promised by. Satyam, truth. Yat tat, that which. Sa- Santvyata, while pacifying. Priyam, dear wife, Priyam, satisfaction, Cha, also Bhima Senasya, of Sri Bhimasena, Panchalyaha, of Draupadi, Mahyam, unto me also, certainly, Cha, end. Translation. The personality of Goddess Sri Krishna said, a friend of a Brahmana is not to be killed, but if he is an aggressor, he must be killed. All these rulings are in the scriptures, and you should act accordingly. You have to fulfill your promise to your wife, and you must also act to the satisfaction of Bhimasena and me. Purport. Arjuna was perplexed because Aswadhama was to be killed as well as spared according to different scriptures cited by different persons. As a Brahma Bandhu or a worthless son of Brahmana, Aswadhama was not to be killed, but he was at the same time an aggressor also. And according to the rulings of Manu, an aggressor, even though he be a Brahmana, and what to speak of an unworthy son of a Brahmana, is to be killed. Dronacharya was certainly a Brahmana in the true sense of the term, but because he stood in the battlefield, he was killed. But although Ashwatthama was an aggressor, he stood without any fighting weapons. The ruling is that an aggressor, when he is without a weapon or chariot, cannot be killed. All these were certainly perfect slides. Besides that, Arjuna had to keep the promise he had made before Draupadi just to pacify her. But he also had to satisfy both Bhima and Krishna, who advised killing him. This dilemma was present before Arjuna, and the solution was avoided by Krishna. Hmm. Scroll down, Prabhu. Yeah. Text 55. Sutavacha अनुजः सहसा अज्ञाय हरेर् हार्दम् अथासिना मणिं जहार मूर्धन्यं द्विजास्य सह मूर्धजम् सूत गोस्वामी उवाच said Arjuna sahasa just at that time Ajnaya, knowing it, Harer of the Lord, Hardam, motive, Atha, thus, Asina, by the sword, Manim, the jewel, Jahara, separated, Mordhanyam, on the head, Dvijasya, of the twice born, Saha, with Mordhajam, hairs. Translation. Just then Arjuna could understand the motive of the Lord by his equivocal orders, and thus with his sword he severed both hair and jewel from the head of Aswathama. Purport. Contradictory orders of different persons are impossible to carry out. Therefore, a compromise was selected by Arjuna by his sharp intelligence, and he separated the jewel from the head of Aswadhama, which was as good as cutting off his head, and yet his life was saved for all practical purposes. Here, Aswadhama is indicated as twice born. Certainly, he was twice born, but he fell down from his position, and therefore he was properly punished. Text 56. Vimuchya Rashana Baddham Bala Hatya Hata Prabham Tejasa Manina Hinam Sibiran Nirayapayat. Vimuchya, after releasing him, Rasana Baddham, from the bondage of ropes, Balhatya, infanticide, Hata Prabham, loss of bodily luster, Tejasa, of the strength of Manina, by the jewel, Hinam, being deprived of Sibirat, from the camp, Niraya Apayat, drove him out. Translation. He, Aswadhama, had already lost his bodily luster due to infanticide, and now, moreover, having lost the jewel from his head, he lost even more strength. Thus, he was unbound and driven out of the camp. Purport. Thus, being insulted, the humiliated Aswadhama was simultaneously killed and not killed by the intelligence of Lords Krishna and Arjuna. Text 57. Vapanam Dravinadanam स्थानान् निर्यापणं तथा एष हि ब्रह्मबन्धूनां वधो नान्यो अस्ति दैहिकः. Papanam, cleaving the hairs from the head, Dravina, wealth, Adanam, forfeiting, Sthanan, from the residence, Niryapanam, driving away, Tatha, also, Eshaha, all these, He certainly Brahma Bandhunam of the relatives of the Brahmana Vadaha killing not Anyaha any other method Asti there is Daihikaha in the matter of the body. Daihika in the matter of the body. Translation: cutting the hair from his head, depriving him of his wealth and driving him from his residence are the prescribed punishments for the relative of a Brahmana. There is no injunction for killing the body. Next 58. Putra sokaturah sarve pandavah sah krishnaya swanam mృతానాం యత్ కృత్యం చక్రూర్ నిర్హరణాదికం పుత్ర సన్ శోక bereavement aturah overwhelmed with survey all of them pandavah the son of Pandu saha along with Krishnaya with Draupadi, Swayam of the king's men, Mritanam of the dead, yet what Krityam ought to be done, Chakruhu did perform, Nirharana Adhikam undertakeable. Translation: therefore, the sons of Pandu and Draupadi, overwhelmed with grief, performed the proper rituals for the dead bodies of their relatives. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the first canto, 7th chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, titled The Son of Drona Punished.
Ribo, thank you so much, Prabhu. Okay,
Thank you,
here
Prabhu.
ends. Okay, we need to find the second part.
The next chapter is prayers by Queen Kunti and Parikshit saved. Chapter 8.
Yes, Prabhu.
You have that PDF, or shall I continue reading it from the Veda Base website?
I'm searching for it.
Maybe I recommend you open the Veda Base website directly instead of this PDF.
It needs to be the book. Oh, now I found it. So, is Amit Prabhu still there?
Yes, Prabhu. I'm here.
Want to read?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, because soon we have like 15 minutes. So if you want to read now, you need to read.
Okay, Prabhu. Chapter 8.
Oh, 1 second. Yeah, there was many pictures, but we can see them later. Is Lebang Prabhu here actually? No. Hare Krishna, Sri Kant Prabhu, Param Jai Shah Prabhupada.
Krishna Prabhu, from Srila Prabhupada.
One second. Where is this?
Prabhu, which reference is correct? Is it prabhupadabooks.com or vedabase.io? Which one is most accurate?
This is some PDF.
Okay.
Yet someone said this is the original edition.
Okay,
Blue
Prabhu.
someone. So that's why I chose this one.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yes, so, but actually in Veda base, like we can read every shloka and can come back later also. And for here, we have to again find, we have to note the page number. Mm.
Yes, Prabhu.
So, prayers by Queen Kunti and Parikshit saved. Text 1, Suta Uvacha, Athate Sampareta Nam Svanam Udakam Ichyatam Datum Sa Krishna Gangayam Pur Puraskritya Yayuh Sritah Triyaha. Suta Uvacha, Suta said, Atha, thus, te the Pandavas, Samparetanam of the dead, Swanam of the relatives, Udakam water, Ikshatam willing to have, Datum to deliver. What was this? It is rubbed off. Sale Krishna along with Lord Krishna, Gangayam on the Ganges, Puraskritya putting in the front, Yayo went, Striyaha the woman. Translation and covered by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Srila Goswami said, thereafter, the Pandavas, desiring to deliver water to the dead relatives who had desired it, went to the Ganges and with Lord Krishna. The ladies walked in front. Purpose to date it is the custom in the Hindu society to go to the Ganges or to any other sacred river to take bath when death occurs in the family. Each of the family members pours out a pot full of the Ganges water for the departed soul and walks in a procession with the ladies in the front. The Pandavas also followed the rules more than 5,000 years ago. Lord Krishna, being a cousin of the Pandavas, is also amongst the family members. Text 2. Te Nini-yodakam sarve vilapya cha bhrisham punaha apluta haripadabhya rajah puta sarijjale. They, all of them, Nini, having offered Udakam, water, Sarve, every one of them, Vilapya, having lamented, Cha, and Brisham, sufficiently, Punaha, again, Aplutaha, took bath, Hari Padabja, lotus feet of the Lord, Rajaha, dust, Puta, purified Sarit of the Ganges, Jale, in the water. Translation empowered by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Having lamented over them and sufficiently offered Ganges water, they bathed in the Ganges, whose water is sanctified due to being mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord. Text 3. Tatrasinam Kuru Patim Dhritarashram Sahanujam Gandharim Putra Shokartam Pritham Krishnam Cha Madhavaha. Tatra, there, Asenam, sitting, Kurupatim, the king of the Kurus, Dhritarashtra, Saha Anujam, with his younger brother, Gandharim, Gandhari, Putra, son, Shokartam, overtaken by bereavement, Pritham, Kunti, Krishnam, Draupadi, Cha, also Madhava, Lord Shri Krishna. Translation empowered by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
There the king of the Kurus, Maharaj Yudhishthir, also with his younger brothers, Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, Kunti, Draupadi, and also Lord Krishna, all sat overwhelmed with grief. The battle of Kurukshetra was fought between family members, and thus all affected persons were also family members like Maharaj Yudhishthira and brothers Kunti, Draupadi, Subhadra, Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, and her daughters-in-law, etc. All the principal dead bodies were in some way or other related with each other, and therefore the family grief was combined. Lord Krishna was also one of them as a cousin of the Pandavas and nephew of Kunti, as well as brother of Subhadra, etc. The Lord was therefore equally sympathetic towards all of them, and therefore he began to pacify them, defeating them. Therefore, शान्तव्यामाश मुनिभिर्हत बन्धुन् सुचार्पितान् भूतेषु कालस्य गतिं दर्शायां न प्रतिक्रियां यामस pacified Munibi along with the Munis present there. Hata Bandhun, those who lost their friends and relatives. Sucharpitan, all shocked and affected. Bhuteshu, unto the living beings. Kalasya, of the supreme law of the Almighty. Gatam, reactions. Darshayam, demonstrated. No, Pratikriyam, remedial measures. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Shri Krishna and the Munis began to pacify those who were shocked and affected, citing the stringent laws of the Almighty and their reactions upon living beings. But the stringent laws of nature under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be altered by any living entity. The living entities are eternally under the subjugation of the Almighty Lord. The Lord makes all the laws and orders, and these laws and orders are generally called dharma or religion. No one can create any religious formula. Bona fide religion is to abide by the orders of the Lord. The Lord's orders are clearly declared in the Bhagavad Gita. Everyone should follow him only or his orders, and that will make all happy, both materially and spiritually. As long as we are in the material world, it is our duty to follow the orders of the Lord. And if by grace of the Lord, we are liberated from the clutches of the material world, then in our liberated stage also we can render transcendental loving service unto the Lord. In our material stage, we can neither see ourselves nor the Lord for want of spiritual vision. But when we are liberated from the material affection and are situated in our original spiritual form, we can see both ourselves as well as the Lord face to face. Mukti means to be reinstated in one's original spiritual status after giving up the material conception of life. Therefore, human life is specifically meant for qualifying ourselves for the spiritual liberty. Unfortunately, under the influence of illusory material energy, we accept this spot life for a few years only as a permanent existence and thus become illusioned by possessing so-called country, home, land, children, wife, community, wealth, etc., which are false representations created by Maya, illusion. And under the dictation of Maya, we fight with one another to protect these false possessions. By cultivating spiritual knowledge, we can realize that we have nothing to do with all this material paraphernalia. Then at once we become free from material attachment, and this clearance of the misgivings of material existence at once takes place by association of the Lord's devotees, who are able to inject the transcendental sound into the depth of the bewildered heart and thus make him practically liberated from all lamentation and illusion. That is a summary of the pacifying measures for those affected by the reaction of stringent material laws exhibited in the forms of birth, death, old age, and disease, insoluble factors of material existence. The victims of war, namely the family members of the Kurus, were lamenting the problems of death, and the Lord pacified them on the basis of knowledge.
Terrible. Okay, final verse.
सा साधयित्वा जता शत्रुः त्वं राज्यं कितवैर्हृतं घातयित्वा सतो राज्ञः कच स्पर्शतायुषः. Prabhu, like this S, one is S with the small bar above, that is sure. And S with dot, it is also sure.
Yes, Prabhu, something like that. If you want to learn more in detail, you
Similar
can
to, like, yes, Prabhu.
want to learn more in detail, you can watch that with Prabhu's local learnings course. I don't remember.
Okay, who's Prabhu?
Like,
Yeah, it is in the, I have seen. It is in
yes,
the channel. It came, yes, Prabhu.
yes, Prabhu. I
Okay,
forgot how
Prabhu.
it.
Okay, I'll see.
No, let me tell you quickly, Prabhu. There are three letters in Sanskrit. Okay,
So, yes, Prabhu.
Se, Sha, Sa. Okay, maybe let us complete this
So
session.
we have read in
Okay.
Hindi, like, yes, okay, Prabhu, let us first, I'll read this.
Same. Let us complete this. I will tell. I will show and
Okay,
I'll share my screen and show
sure,
that to you.
Prabhu.
Sure.
Okay. Sadhayitva, having executed, Ajata Shatruha, of one who has no enemy. Swam Rajyam, own kingdom, Kitavaih, by the clever Duryodhan and party, Kritam, usurped, Ghatayitva, having killed, Asataha, the unscrupulous, uh, Rajya of the kings, Kacha, bunch of hair, Parsha, roughly handled, Shata, decreased, Ayusha, by the duration of life. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. The clever Duryodhan and his family cunningly usurped the kingdom of Yudhishthira, who had no enemy. So, what is usurp? What is the meaning of this? Take unlawfully or by force. Cunningly, they take the kingdom of Yudhishthira, who had no enemy. By the grace of the Lord, the recovery was executed, and the unscrupulous kings who joined with Duryodhan were killed by him. Others also died, their duration of life being decreased for their having roughly handled the hair of Queen Draupadi. Purport. In the glorious days or before the advent of the age of Kali, the Brahmanas, the cows, the women, the children, and the old men were properly given protection. The protection of the Brahmanas maintains the institution of Varna and Ashram, the most scientific culture for attainment of spiritual life. The protection of cows maintains the most miraculous form of food, i.e., milk, for maintaining the finer tissues of the brain for understanding higher aims of life. The protection of the woman maintains the chastity of the society by which we can get a good generation for peace, tranquility, and progress of life. Protection of children gives the human form of life its best chance to prepare the way of liberty from material bondage. Such protection of children begins from the very day of begetting a child by the purificatory process of Garbhadhan Samskara, the beginning of pure life. Protection of the old men gives them a chance to prepare themselves for better life after death. This complete outlook is based on factors leading to successful humanity as against the civilization of polished cats and dogs. The killing of these innocent creatures is totally forbidden because even by insulting them, one loses one's duration of life. In the age of Kali, they are not properly protected, and therefore the duration of life of the present generation has shortened considerably. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that when the women become unchaste for want of proper protection, uh, there are unwanted children called Varnasankaras. To insult a chaste woman means to bring about disaster in the duration of Dushashan, a brother of Duryodhan, insulted Draupadi, an ideal chaste lady, and therefore the miscreant died untimely. These are some of the stringent laws of the law mentioned.
Prabhu, thank you so much, Prabhu. This was really
Thank
interesting
you
purport.
for allowing us to So this was very nice, like very, very nice, logical and scientific. This so many points are there. We should
Yes,
tell
Prabhu.
them, but we should.
Even insulting someone, one loses duration of life. So we should not insult someone.
Yes, and today everything is happening. Insulting a woman, old men, children.
Yes,
They
Prabhu.
don't even let them live properly.
Okay, now let's chant the six Astakam prayers. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamaha davagnirvapanam Shreyah Kairavachandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamritasvadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam.
Namnam
Namna
Bahura Sarvashresh Atrartha Niyamitah Smaranena Kalaha Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamati Durdaivam Idrisham Ihajani Nanuraga.
Pranadapi Sunicena Sadhaurapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtanyaya Sadaharihi.
नादनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितं वा जगति स कामये मम जन्मनीश्वरे भवतत् भक्तिरयतु की त्वावि
Ainantatanu Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddho Kripaya Tava Pada Pankajastita Dule Sadrasam Vichintaya.
नयनं गलदश्रुधारय वदनं कत्कदरुद्धया गिरा पुलकेर्विचितं वपुकदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति
Yugayitam
युगायितं
Nimeshina Chakshusha. Okay, bro. We can read, bro.
युगायितं निमेषेन चक्षुषा प्रावसायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे
Aslisya Patratam Pinashtumam Adarshanan Marmahatam Karotu Va Yata Tata Va Vidata Tulampato Matprananatastu Saevana Paraha. Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by chanting your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in humble state of mind, thinking once in the Lord with strong street. One should be more proud than literally the word of false with the first street. And we talk about respect to this instruction, so men can chant the holy name of the Lord also.
O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your costless devotional service birth after birth.
O son of
O
Maharaj
son of
Nanda Krishna, I
Yes,
am your
brother.
eternal servitor. Somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet.
Oh my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up? And when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name?
Oh Govinda, feeling a separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all weekend in the world in your absence.
I know no one
I
but
know no
Krishna
one.
as my Lord. and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly in his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally.
Haribo, Sri Siksastakam ki jai. Bahujanma Karayadi Shravana Kirtan Tabutana Paya Krishna Pade Premadan. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many birds, he will not get the love of Godhead. That is the ultimate goal of this chanting. The 10 offenses against the holy name are as follows. The first offense is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord.
To consider the names of demigods like the Lord
Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu.
to disobey the orders of the spiritual master.
To blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in persons of the Vedic version. To consider
To
the glories
consider
of
the
chanting
glories
Hare
of the
Krishna to be an imagination.
to give some interpretation of the holy name of the Lord.
To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord.
To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name.
Oh, 8-1 Prabhu.
To consider the
Hare
chanting of Hare Krishna one of the special ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda.
Now 9. To instruct the faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain mental attachments even after understanding so many structures on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna Prema. Let us offer our humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord that they can fulfill the desires of everyone just like these are trees and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam
Namo Namaha.
namo namaha.
Ananta Gaudiya Vaishnavinda ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Premanande, Haribo.